I suck at intros, so let's get it over with. You've seen the title, Why You Should Be Alone. You may be thinking, why do I need to be alone? Why should I be alone? You know, being alone is bad. Being alone is not bad. It's a misconception or whatever. It is not bad at all. I personally find it a need to be alone. Not that I have a choice, but anyway, we're gonna go over, you might be thinking, why should I be alone? Isn't that a bad thing? And I'll explain to you why it's not. And other things, I can't really think right now, so it's kind of rough for me. Anyway, let's get into it. Why you should be left alone. Being left alone, you're gonna have a better understanding of yourself. When you're not alone, your brain is everywhere. Your brain is distracted, occupied, this and that, and you're not thinking. You might be thinking, but you're not really thinking. When being alone, you learn to better understand, accept, but basically better understand yourself. I think a better understanding of yourself is what matters. Because if you don't know yourself, you're gonna be manipulated easily, especially if you're a person that's dependent on people's acceptance and then I can't think of the word, acceptance and them looking at you or acknowledging you. So you're gonna be very manipulative, or like a victim anyway, and yeah, you're just not gonna know. So let's start. That's why I think you need to be left alone. It's not a bad thing. You get to better understand yourself, better accept yourself, and better love yourself. And especially if you, like my last video, people, you should let them go. When you're alone, you can think about it. You can really see. So once you're not distracted, or at least once they leave, you might be sad, whatever, but once you have alone time and you start thinking, and you don't let your feelings cloud you and let so many people, so many things going on distract you, then you have time to think and really understand, and you have a clarity of mind. You're like, dang, this was a weird sign that I should have noticed at first. Or like, dang, they said this and it kind of just went by my head, but it really has a meaning. Or dang, they did this and I wouldn't have accepted that ever, but something would stop me. Or blah 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 blah. You realize these things and you understand things better, or at least you have the clarity of mind to understand things better. Don't, especially like I said, if you don't spend time with yourself, you don't know yourself. You only know who you put out in front of other people, and people may think, oh, I'm myself around my friends. Really, you might be. I'm not gonna say you aren't, a very small few, but when you sit by yourself, you really understand, okay, what do I want to do? What am I liking? What am I not liking? When you sit down, you may not know what you like, but by the end of it, I can pretty dang sure tell you that you're gonna know what you don't like. Whether it be in yourself, love yourself. I'm just saying there's some things that you might want to quit. Watching stuff, doing stuff, just stuff that you don't want to do. Or there's things you do want to do, you realize you do want to do. So that's what I'm saying. You're going to have a better understanding. You're going to know what to do, what you want to do, and what you don't want to do. In yourself, and in people, and in situations, and this and that. From me, and how I kind of used to be, and kind of still am, because I do somewhat, loser Matt here talks to people. When I get talking, I really talk. I don't talk a lot. When I talk, and I ramble, and my mind is just going. And I don't catch myself. When I'm alone, I can catch my thoughts. I can realize what I'm feeling, what my actions are doing, but when I'm rambling on, my mind is distracted. And I'm not thinking of what I'm saying. I'm not thinking of my actions. I'm not this or that. This guy you see through the camera is very calm. Well, at least I think, and he's very calm, collected, and whatever. But once I get going, I'm a little more not very thinkative or thoughtful. I'm not very this or that. but I'm getting better to catch myself and to be like, okay, I'm talking a lot. You have 2 ears, one mouth. Use them in that proportion. Listen more, talk less. When you do talk, make it meaningful and impactful, because I usually ramble on and my words are long, my sentences are long, and they're not very impactful or meaningful, and there's a few things I could shorten it down. I'm trying to, for when I do talk, I talk less. I'm learning to talk less and to really remind myself that, okay, this is where my thoughts are at. Because sometimes you're so distracted and you ramble on, you need to catch your thoughts, and being alone is gonna do that. So, there's 2 reasons I feel like I'm gonna ramble on at this point, so be warned. But personal experience, being alone is made me realize who's actually there, who's selfishly there, and then who's not. And what I mean by selfishly there is that they're there for my gain, or I'm there for their gain or for their distraction. And I don't want that at all, at least not for me. I want a friend who really cares for me, wants what's best for me, and this and that. Or who really talks to you and really hits you up. So, being alone, you're gonna realize who's selfish and be like, you started bailing on us, you started this, you started that. They're not gonna understand. And you're gonna be like, you can tell them, obviously, because you don't want to just go ghost without them knowing, So you tell them, look, I'm just doing my thing alone. I hope y'all can understand, I'll still be here, I'm just doing my thing. And they should understand if they're like, oh, you're fake, you just hear that? Did you just hear that? They're calling you fake for working on yourself. I'm gonna point at y'all. Yourself. They're calling you fake for working on yourself. I mean, it says it right there. It's in your face. That's not someone that's wanting your well-being, at all. So you're gonna realize things and you're gonna see things, especially when you're not clouded by emotion and distractions, I guess. So, hey, let's think of another thing. I don't really have anything else. You're just gonna have a better understanding of yourself. Realize who's there for you, who's not. And even if you don't have anyone right now, you have a better understanding of yourself. And when I mean better understanding, you really understand yourself. I haven't felt this clarity in my life. This much clarity in my life. But I've also never been alone. And people say alone equals loneliness. No, being alone does not equal loneliness. Enjoy your own presence. It does get boring. Be bored. Okay, that's a whole different video, I feel like. But be bored. Read up on something. I read on these little things called Headway. No sponsor. But it has a free daily summary. So I do the free daily summary. And sometimes it actually does help. It makes me better understand myself, of the world, But when you're alone, at least what I've done, I've gone into really a lot of philosophy and things of the world. Not worldly desires, but things of the world, history. Better understanding of myself, because I think that's what philosophy is. It's better understanding of yourself and the world and things in that. So I got into that. And when I'm alone, I better understand myself. Think lightly of yourself, think deeply of the world. Now, I'm not saying go deeply into the world's desires, the world's image, but think deeply of the world. Think lightly of yourself. It's called humility. Humility? I think it is humility. To be selfless. I'm not saying anything to be a pushover. I'm not saying that at all. But be humble. That's all I gotta say. My younger years, which I'm still young, but I'm saying my younger years, I was very I wouldn't say I was boasting, but I'm not gonna say I was the most humble kid and things. But it's who I choose to be now. Is what matters. So, yeah. Just be alone. Nothing's wrong with it. I think it is a need, so you need to better understand yourself. Because your people, if you want to call it that, but like people can leave you. People grow. So sometimes, it's just a matter of them, like, maturing. I'm not saying they try to mature. But sometimes it's just them maturing, and it's like, I can't be with you 24/7. I can't give you attention 24/7. I can't this and that. I gotta do me. And that's what they should do. And that's what you should do as well. So, what can I say? Anyway, I think that's it. So, yeah. Peace, y'all.